Virginie, this is Demille. I decided to go ahead and create a video to follow up on the message that I left you in your instructor's office chat on the school's website. So I'm having a problem with, another, it's not really rendering per se, but it's relating to my ability to be able to go in and edit lights and things like that. I'll show you exactly what's happening. So, this is my perspective view that I have right here. So I've got three lights, and I've got a backlight, which is right there. I've got a key light, which is off to the right. You can't really see it based on what I'm showing. I may be able to zoom out. Yeah, you can see the edge of the key light in my perspective view. And then here's my fill light. So I'm just really just doing a test here. Now, the problem is not with me being able to create the lights. I can do that. That's not the issue. The problem that I'm having is being able to go in and really like adjust the lights. And also, in addition to being able to go in and adjust the lights, also having a problem with going into render settings where you can go and like when you have to set the rasterizer, like the legacy, I think there's like a legacy rasterizer. In either one of those scenarios, whether I go into the attribute editor over here where I'm circling with my mouse pointer, or if I go into the render settings and I click on, so the common tab is okay. But if I go to quality, scene, configuration, or diagnostics, and these are the tabs we can go in where we can really adjust how fine the render needs to be. Whenever I go in and click on any one of these four tabs right here, Maya will crash. Or if I go into the attribute editor to adjust the intensity of the light or the color of the light or anything like that, Maya will crash. So I did find out that I could go into the channel box and I could adjust the intensity there, and I could turn off, ray trace shadows and things like that. But the only problem is I can't adjust the darkness or the lightness of the shadows from here. I have to do that from the attribute editor. So right now, as you can see in my scene, I'm in perspective view. I'm just going to go into camera one, which is what I have set for my camera view for my animation. So everything is ready to go for a test render. So I can render this, no problem. But if I wanted to go in and adjust any one of these lights, like let's just say I'll just go ahead and click out of here so I can demonstrate to you what's happening. So I've gotten out of that. I'm just going to turn on my default lighting temporarily just so you can see the scene. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to select one light, right? So I'm going to go back into lighting. I'm going to use selected lights. I know there's not any lights selected here. That's why it's dark. So I'm going to go into my outliner over here, and I'm going to select Tom key light, which is what I set for my key light. So, like I said, I can go over here to under the channel box and edit, and make it large and do whatever I need to do. I can turn off a shadow, but I know in the attribute editor, that's where I need to go to actually change, like, how light or dark the shadow needs to be, things like that. What if I want to add colors to the light? I know I can do that there. But this is what happens when I do the attribute editor. I'm going to click on it. Just watch this. This is what happens. It comes up with the student version file. You get that message, and if you click continue, it's going to always open up at this particular part. So I always should just click cancel, And then I get this error message. And then I click OK. And then you can't see this on this end, on your end, but there's a spinning beach ball on my end. And in just a few moments, Maya's going to close. And so this is really where I am right now. The animation part is just about done. There's still a few more things I need to tweak, and you can see the Autodesk software send report message just popped up. And I did actually send them a message earlier today to see if they have a resolution for this or if they have a workaround. But yeah, this is pretty much what's happening. And I mean, as you know, without being able to, if I can't go into the attribute editor and edit the lights, and it does the same thing also, not only when, like I said before, and let me just go ahead and just close this. So as you can see, Maya just quit. So I'm gonna reopen Maya again, and so Maya is in the process of reopening. I'm gonna show you what happens when I go to either one of those tabs and adjust anything in the render settings. But like I was saying a few moments ago, it's really disappointing because I feel like this animation is really starting to look good. And I mean, if I can't adjust the lighting the way that I need to and things of that nature, adjust the shadows and maybe the color of the lights, I mean, that's really going to limit what I'm going to be able to do in terms of rendering. So what I'm doing now is I'm just opening up my scene here. And let's see, let me go to Maya Tutorials, Disk 1, Working Files, Chapter 2, and I have it saved under my anime, ANIM324, and then Scenes. And I'm just opening this file back up. Now, one thing that I will tell you while this is opening, and I think this is pretty important to know also, even when I go to a regular scene, like I thought at first maybe the problem was my file. Well, even with a regular scene, and if I create a light and go into an attribute editor, it does the same thing. So I'm just going to select a light real quick just to show you what happens here. So I selected my key light again. I'm going to turn off my selected lights, or turn on selected lights rather. So I'm going into my settings button right here. And then I'm going into, so I'm going to just, these are the tabs that really let you adjust things like ray trace shadows, how fine, the edges will be around your subjects, things like that. The things that really make it look really good. So I'm just going to click on quality. This is what happens. Same thing. So you get the message again, click cancel. There's the error. And, you're going to get the spinning beach ball. And so that's pretty much what happens there. I'm going to do one more demonstration for you just so that you can see this. I want to show you what happens when I just open up Maya and I just go to, I just create a light in an empty scene and I go into the attribute editor. I want to show you what happens when I do that. So as you can see, I'm using Maya 2016, even, did Service Pack 6 just to see if that would help. Also uninstalled Maya. I was on Maya 2015 earlier. I uninstalled Maya 2015, reinstalled Maya 2015 unsuccessfully because there was some sort of bug or something and I wasn't able to get Maya 2015 going. So I went to 2016 and it did the same thing. But anyway, here's 2016 opened again. So I'm going to create a light. This is a, my file isn't open, just a clean blank scene. So I'm going create lights, directional light. I'll even go to options and I will go to edit, reset settings. And what's interesting here, I do see that I can create, actually I can adjust the shadow. That may be a potential workaround. But the only problem with that, but I'm going to go ahead and create this light. Okay, so it creates my light. Now, the thing that I just discovered here is it does let me adjust the shadow color when I do that, but that's when creating a light. I don't know how to go in and edit a light where I can actually change the color without going into the attribute editor to adjust like the light or the light of the, excuse me, the lightness of the shadow for a light that you create. And so with this light in my scene here, I'm going to go to attribute editor and same thing happens. So as you can see, it's not just with the file that I have. This is just happening practically in anything that I'm doing. So far, I have tried 2 different versions of Maya. I've tried uninstalling 2016, reinstalling 2016. Did Service Pack 6 to see if that would fix some bugs. I've sent Autodesk Maya a message earlier today, so that detailing what's going on, and haven't heard back from them yet. But I really would like to see if there's any kind of way, if you know any tricks or anything that I can do that would be helpful. If you have a workaround, that would be great. That would be really awesome if there's some kind of workaround, or if you just know something that maybe you've seen this before and you're able to determine, what's going on. That would really be awesome too, so that I can go ahead and get this submitted in a reasonable time. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cut this video short. I didn't mean to make it long, but I just wanted to try to be thorough and just show you exactly what's happening. And hopefully I can hear back and hopefully have some kind of resolution to this. So anyway, I look forward to hearing from your response. And thanks so much for all the help that you provide. I greatly appreciate it. All right.